Trying to feel the spring.
Welcome everyone. May I call to order the March 24th, 2026 meeting of the High Point Regional High School Board of Education. I ask you please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the Augusta, Branchville, and Sussex post offices, and notice sent to the New Jersey Herald, the Sunday Herald, and the clerk of the boroughs of Branchville and Sussex, and the townships of Frankfort, Lafayette, and Wantage. Our mission statement: High Point Regional High School, in partnership with staff, family, and community, is dedicated to the quest for individual excellence. By fostering high standards of achievement, we prepare students to become responsible and productive members of a diverse society. Could I ask for roll call, please? Attendance.
Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Ms. Longberg?
Here.
Ms. Orsi?
Here.
Ms. Diaz? Ms. Stackis? Ms. Gall?
Here.
Mr. Van Stone?
Here.
Ms. Hill?
Here.
Ms. Wise? Mr. Dunn?
Here.
Dr. Ripley?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, excellent. A motion will now be made that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education enter executive session to provide an update on legal, personnel, and negotiations items which are exempt from public participation pursuant to New Jersey Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Any discussions held by the board which need not remain confidential will be made public when appropriate. Minutes of the executive session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session, in person and virtually, at the conclusion of the executive session. It is not anticipated that any action will be taken. So I'll make that motion. May I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Executive session. May I have a motion to return to public session, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are returned to public session. Let's have approval of minutes from the regular meeting of February 24th, 2026, and the executive minutes from February 24th, 2026. I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any comments, questions, corrections to those minutes? No?
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Lundberg?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Next. Bringing us to our first public comments section of the evening on agenda items only. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, we will open the public comments for agenda items only at this time. Each speaker should state his or her name and address. You will have 3 minutes to address the board, which will be timed by myself. We will limit this section to no longer than 45 minutes. Please be respectful and mindful that your comments are being recorded. Do we have anyone in the room or virtual who would like to make comments? Just check. No. Okay. So may I have a motion
To close?
in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to presentations. First, we have George Oriana, Speaker of the House. Welcome, George. Will give us an update on the activities of the Student Council.
Good evening, everybody. So I suppose I should start with March's theme. Once again, the March's character theme is trustworthiness, and to sort of represent trustworthiness and discuss it and develop upon it. Students made a Trust Starts With Me banner writing ways they promise to be more trustworthy, which is currently hanging in the main office hallway. And then for St. Patrick's Day, there was a Lucky Leprechaun trivia contest where students were emailed a Google form with about 10 trivia questions, and the first 5 students to answer all 10 correctly would win prizes such as candy and writing journals. And as for fundraisers in each of the classes, the senior class of 2026 is doing yet another Dine to Donate, this time at A&G's, this Saturday, March 28th. All pizza sales, of course, go towards the prom, senior cruise, and other activities that the senior class is doing. And they are also selling graduation yard signs through March 31st. The junior class of 2027 is currently collecting money for prom, and they just finished a Gertrude hot chocolate sale and is most likely doing a custom ink order next and working on movie night for June. The sophomore class of 2028 is currently doing a Gertrude hot chocolate fundraiser. And starting today, they are starting a prank day fundraiser where money jars will be outside the main office with names and faces of administrators and teachers, and the top 4 who receive the most money in their jar will be quote-unquote pranked during unit lunch at the East Gym on April 1st. They want it to be fun and harmless, which is why the sophomore class is monitoring it, and all pranks will be approved by Mr. Talmadge. And for the freshman class of 2029, they are doing a couple of Dine to Donates, specifically for Chipotle on March 31st and at the Barnyard on April 16th, each from 4 to 8 p.m. But apart from that is all we have for you this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, George. Thank you again. Next, HPEA President Elizabeth Sunda. Updates on HPEA items.
Good evening. How are you? Hello. My face is not on one of the jars, but I did offer to be, and I was not chosen. So just saying, for the prank, I'm not there, and I'm probably not voting against my admin, who are on the jars. You're on the jar. So we really don't have much as far as items on the agenda. I just wanted to say that I think it's kind of that push of the year that we are finally done with winter and happy for spring sports. So we just started week 3, and I know, I'm hoping today's the last day I'm wearing my scarf lipstick. But it's nice to be outside. I am coaching girls track and field. and the girls team and the boys team, and seeing all the other teams out. We had pictures last week. We'll have pictures this coming Friday for the rest of the teams. So it's nice to just give out uniforms and just be out in the fresh air again, and it's nice to see the kids out having fun. I also apologize, I was coming in as you were coming in. I just left the Sussex County, had a dinner at the farmstead to honor Union Women of the Year. It was their first year doing this for Sussex County, and they nominated, or 15 women were selected. One of ours was Corey Loyola, who I nominated, as well as her sister, who's at the Sussex Wantage School, Justin Silly. She was there. And so we had just come from that. I left them there. They were still hanging out, having fun. So that was nice to be recognized. And I just want to thank you again for the continued transparency and open communication with the admin. I know this is a tough time of year and everything that's coming up with the season ending and for next year as well. But our officers appreciate the open communication, and I'm here if you have any questions on any agenda items, if I can help with anything. And to wish you all a happy and healthy Easter and spring season. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Lane.
you.
Mr. John Talamy, Principal's Report.
Good evening, everybody. See you again this beautiful night at the Sunday, as so nicely described. Thank you, Ms. Sunday, for all your work and continued communication and all the things that we talk about every single day. As you can see up there, I'm going to skip right to that. One of the things I wanted to say thank you to, I know our school board, Mr. Dunn was there last night as the president of the Sussex County School Boards Association. This was started the third year that the county is doing this, and it has become, in my opinion, one of the nicest nights that we do. There's not many times that all the county schools, right, or boards or administrators and students come together. The roundtable awards another time that happens, but few and far in between. So to have this award for the Unsung Hero is a really neat thing. So I'm hoping that this continues on for infinite future, because it's really cool to be there in the same auditorium together, recognizing 6th graders, 8th graders, and 12th graders from county schools. And it's based on criteria where, in our case, Ms. Kennedy Shepherd was selected and a well-deserving nominee. Those that lead all the time, those that lead by character, those that lead by that silent voice sometimes, right, or that action that you don't always see, that are behind the scenes, lead by role modeling, lead with character and American integrity every day. Kennedy represents that in so many capacities for our school district, not just within our school community. She also extends outside our school community, works very, very often with lower sending districts, such as Wantage in particular, with their sports programs, in particular basketball, running camps, and practices, and assisting with them. So again, a true epitome of what you want a High Point student to be. So Kennedy was recognized last night with many of her classmates that were also seniors from different schools as well as 6th graders. So thank you again, Mr. Dunn, for kind of getting that initiated, and we're hoping that continues a very, very nice night for the kids and for the parents. In addition to that great news, we had our Teen Arts event earlier in March. We had over 100 students that attended, and I just wanted to highlight a couple things. Roxanne Kemline actually had her work chosen for the state Teen Arts. I think I've spoken about this before, but how that works is when you go to Teen Arts, students' artwork, whatever it may be, poetry, music, theater, dance, and all the things film, are then kind of rated and recognized at different levels. It could be at a local gallery, like Sussex County Art Museum. It could be at SEC itself. It could be one of the judicial branches in Newton, one of the buildings that they have there. It could also be at the state level, which is will be later on in June. So Roxanne was selected to be recognized at that event later on. Many of our students had their artwork selected and chosen for different areas of recognition as well, but I just wanted to highlight hers. I also want to thank particularly to our teachers. We talk about staff and students all the time. That's what we do, because that's what High Point is about. Mr. Deeroff, Mr. Sheenice, Mrs. Sheenice, Mr. Seck from our Fine Arts Department, Mrs. Martin, Mr. Slanian, Ms. Davis Smith from our Performing Arts Department, Mrs. Gabay from our English Department led poetry, Mr. Levancy from Media Tech led our film crew. So all those teachers that are there, they get to sit back on that day and walk through the galleries and be there for the film and see their students shine. It's a really cool thing, a cool experience to see that aspect of it, as they are also just kind of observers and leading that. So thank you to them, because there's a lot of work. Ms. McCarthy does a lot of work, our community supervisor, putting that together. as well. Without that, we wouldn't be able to send over 100 students to Teen Arts each year. A couple other events that are coming up, I think we talked about a little bit, but we have our College and Career Fair on March 26th. That is a large undertaking for our guidance team. We're thankful to all of their work, particularly Mr. Flattier, Mrs. Meyer, and Mrs. Jackany, and they are coordinating all the college and career aspect of it. Mrs. Pagan is coordinating the health and wellness fair, so we are taking on the campus, and here we're going to have a health and wellness fair. In the media center, we'll have a career fair. In the college, we expect, in the Western, we'll have about 65 colleges there as well. So this whole area will be opportunities for our students to explore. We're looking forward to that. And in the afternoon, we're going to do our spring musical preview. We've been doing that for many, many years. We bring all of our student body 2 grades at a time, and they get about a 25-minute snapshot of Freaky Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're looking for something to do. 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock. They get a chance to see their own classmates right on the stage. It's a really cool thing. And then hopefully come back on Friday or Saturday, Sunday and see the whole performance. But we've been doing that for many years. Mr. Carty started that, and we want to continue that because it's neat to see all their hard work and fruition. Tech Week is this week, so we're there until about 10, 11 o'clock each night. And it's a long, long week for them. So kudos to Ms. Stacy Smith for that. And again, if you're looking for tickets, I think Dr. Rickler, Mrs. Colbush can send out the link. It is a digital form to get those tickets for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday if you're looking for a night out. In addition, we are once again bringing back, we do like a 2-year cycle of what we call every 15 minutes prevention program. That is for our pre-prom and end-of-year senior activities. We're always very mindful that, I'm sure the others have a conversation about, different trends that are out there, different statistics that are out there. We're always very mindful about positive choices for our students and positive decision making. So I'm not really big, when Dr. Ben, I talk about this often, I'm bringing that speaker in, that one and done speaker, and then they kind of go away into the mist. This pre-prom activity every 15 minutes is a national program. It builds upon the fact and sad reality every 15 minutes a young adult is taken based on substances and alcohol. And we also pair that with a large community event of a mock accident in our junior parking lot, our senior parking lot. So all our junior seniors come to see that. And then the second day of that event, we do an assembly where it all comes together. So kudos to Mrs. Cardinal and Mrs. Pagan. They work directly with our community members on that program. We kind of tweak it a little bit to make it our own, and so it can fit in within a day and a half aspect of it. We have a parent meeting actually tomorrow night with all the student volunteers that are going to be part of that, because it's a serious undertaking to be either in the accident scene or part of the classroom scenes. And it's a pretty emotional part of it, right? So the parents come in, we meet with them tomorrow night in the media center, kind of go over what those roles are going to be and make sure that they are okay with that, and moving forward with that process for the next several weeks. There is a parent piece of it too, which in that assembly, the parents would come and read letters that they wrote to their students that were involved in the accident. So it's very, very emotional. It's very, very powerful, and our students have said many times that it is one of the most impactful things that they see along the way. So that's April 21st and 22nd that we're going to have, I don't like to call it a program, more of a really good resource that kind of covers all the bases for them. It's not just one thing and then it's done. Also in April, thank you to LOS, which is our Library Outreach Society, DEI, Diversity Everywhere, and Inclusion as well. And we're looking at that program and saying, what else can we do with our school, right? And LOS has really been a 4-month of our leadership, and they've been very proactive with wanting to do programs. Last year we did our Black History Month museum in the library, and that was really an awesome opportunity, but it was student-led. It was helped shaped by Mrs. Aludo, and it was helped shaped by other individuals and other teachers, but it was really student-led. So LOS this year as well, working with many other clubs, are looking to bring Hispanic Heritage Museum into our library again on the end of April, April 20th and 30th. We're looking to turn that into a classroom activity as well, and we have teachers that are signing up for activities. So we're looking forward to, again, recognizing and honoring and celebrating all the different backgrounds of our student body. And we found talking to those students that they're trying to develop a way to do that on a rotational basis. So each year it's not the same thing, and every month of the year that the state has identified for something, it's not the same thing, but we're giving a chance for all of our voices to be heard over the course of a couple different years. Because like the Black History Month Museum last year was about a 6-month planning that the students and teachers had together. So they're looking again to bring that together with the World Hispanic Heritage Days. And Mrs. Aludo, who's our media center specialist, is one of the big leaders behind that as well. She's letting the students kind of craft it, but she is definitely facilitating that along the way. So there's some upcoming school events. Shifting over to the athletic report, if I can, Mr. Duck. Some great things to talk about. This is the end of the, as Ms. Sunday said, the end of the winter season and on to the spring season. But so there's a lot of awards and significant student achievements to talk about. So for our wrestling program, we had district champs and we had state champs all along the way, which we're very excited about, and that's a huge opportunity. So we had district champs for girls. We had Ella Palillo, Ella Shangaris, and Peyton Mann were all champions. Second place, Kendall Servo. Third place, Gabby Villafana. Fourth place, Faith Melito, Bella Vogler, and Carly Lockburn. So pretty good representation of district champs for our girls wrestling program. Boys wrestling, we had, again, district tournament champions Thomas Strauss, Carter Druin, and Gavin Miracle. Second place, Jack Kickhart, Jade RuPaul, and Luke Tompkins. And third place, Logan Tackett. So again, a good representation of boys wrestling for that aspect of it. From there, then you advance to the states, which becomes down in Atlantic City, and get a chance to wrestle your way to the possibility of an individual state championship. Wrestling very unique that way. You have the team championship and then the individual. And we had 2 state champs. We had 4 wrestlers go down. Gavin Miracle and Peyton Mann just missed out on medaling for boys and girls. And Ella Shangaris was a 2-time state champ, and Ella Palillo was a 3-time state champ. So seeing that program, again, seeing girls wrestling really come to a whole other level this year than it was last year. More girls are wrestling, more schools representative, more with the weight classes represented throughout that aspect of it. Great to see those wrestlers be crowned champs again along the way. I'm sure that you've seen that throughout social media. And also wanted to talk about some of the other sports. I flip pages here because I have some notes for all the sports, and I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Otherwise, you know, the kids make sure they're all represented. So for bowling, talk about bowling a lot. Ms. Barrett's done a great job. With Katie Bruno has received so many awards this year. We talked about it last month. Sussex County Girls Bowl of the Year, but she also was with Haley Souther, first team Sussex County. Second team was Rebecca Featherman and Taya Gustafsson. Honorable mention was Brady Lorenzo and Ethan Bethencourt. So for bowling, we had a good reputation of team and individual recognition. For boys basketball, and then it's by league, right, or by division, so all league honors for second team Matt Shepard, and honorable mention were AJ Hamilton. For girls basketball, we had Claire Saminsky and Brooke Wagner for first team, and Addie Yanoff for honorable mention. So again, a good representation of each one of our sports teams. For swimming, which is combined, our swimming is with Waukegan Valley. We had the girls NJAC first team, Riley Bambera, 100 freestyle, Addison Cabrera, Mackenzie DeRue, Riley Bambera for the 200 freestyle relay. I'll also talk about that in a second. We had NJAC Freedom Division for honorable mention was Faith Postma. Boys NJAC Freedom second team was Ryan Davis for backstroke, and then the boys NJAC honorable mention for Tucker Carlson. And this is Guerrero, our coach, said the second year in a row that a girls 200 freestyle had won the county championship and has been named the first team. So again, a huge effort there. And one of her swimmers, Riley Bambera, one of her times qualified her for the Junior Olympics. So she was able to swim in that about a week and a half ago. I was talking to her dad today about that, and it's funny because Riley qualified, her time qualified for breaststroke, which is not her favorite stroke. But she's like, I'm going away. So pretty good to qualify for the Junior Olympics. It's all based on time. She actually qualified a long time ago, time-wise, and just finally got recognized for that in the last week and a half. For girls wrestling, Faith Melito, honorable mention, Kendall Servo for second team, Ella Shangaris for first, Bella Vogel for second, Gabby Villafana for second team, Clarity Lane for second team, Ella Palillo for first, Peyton Mann for second team, and Carly Lockburn for second team. So almost all of our weight classes were represented there on the All-League Awards. And surely not least is boys wrestling. We had Thomas Strauss first team, Carter Druin second team, Logan Tackett, honorable mention, Luke Tompkins first team, Jay RuPaul first team, Jack Kippa first team, Caleb DeFacco first team, and Gavin Miracle first team, and then Jack Freak Division. So all of our winter sports were well represented. We should all be proud of what they do all the time. And it's not, you hear me say this all the time, it's not about the awards and recognitions that they receive, whether it be Teen Arts, right, or the end of the year, end of season awards, but it is great for them to be recognized as individuals and as teams. So that's all I got. Questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, you're up.
Good evening. So congratulations to Kennedy, what a beautiful picture, her lovely guidance counselor, and her principal who battled the TSA shortage at Newark Airport to rush from the plane to the event last night. So I want to thank the board for your support with busing to allow our baseball team to go to Florida. Mr. Talamay was on the trip, and I think it was great for the students. I know they loved their principal, and for them to be able to go down and have that support and to play baseball. So it was a great trip, and kudos to Mr. Talamay for making it back for the event. And again, thank you, Mr. Dunn, also for starting. And most of all, congrats to Kennedy. Last week we had testing here, and everyone loves it. It was fantastic. And I say it was fantastic because statewide, there were a lot of problems. It's a new adaptive format, and all of us as administrators are on different email chains with people in our respective roles. And so supervisors, principals, curriculum director, leaders. I don't know what the state's going to do because the directions were very difficult to follow, and there were problems everywhere. Our problems were relatively very, very minor. Our students were mature, cooperative, and focused. Our staff worked very hard to support the students, English and math in particular, to make sure that the students were prepared. It was not without incident, as no testing is, but it went really, really well. And we'll be extremely well prepared for the big test in May, when it's freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. In the curriculum office, Ms. Jessica Briggs, it's as if she's leading a military brigade. She starts planning this probably around Thanksgiving. There are thousands of variables to move around for hundreds of students to test. Thank you to her work, to everyone, Mr. Yard, Mr. Tokar, Mr. Perry on the back end of the IT, tremendous support. So it's a big undertaking, and it went very, very well. Students in particular were very cooperative. In October, we provide a comprehensive review of student behavior, suspensions, substance abuse, etc. But we are required a second time a year to report on incidents that occurred from July through December 31. So the second half of last calendar year, and I'll move through some of this relatively quickly. First number, really excited about. This is apples to apples, because it's the same months last year versus this year. So essentially, we have July and August, but really, it's September through December, 58 suspensions last year, 39 suspensions this year. That's a drop of approximately 1/3, and we're proud of that achievement. Our main office staff, and Mr. Jan Wright, who's here tonight, who does a tremendous job with our kids, together have worked very, very hard to bring about that drop in suspensions. Also, there is a team behind the team that provides counseling, nurturing support, training support for students with disabilities. Dr. Ripley is adamant that if a student has an IEP and they're in a situation that involves discipline, their case manager or counselor is there to support them. So I really think that our overall support system includes a lot of people, and I want to highlight our resource team, who they keep us safe, but they also build relationships with students, and they respond to incidents, and they're very proactive and supportive. Our child study team and our counselors. So it takes a lot of people working to drop those suspensions. Of the 39 suspensions, this is a bit of a breakdown of the categories they fell into. When you see fights, does not mean we had 10 fights. It means there were 10 specific students who were suspended as the result of an altercation. It could be 2 fights, it could be 3 fights. We are, and when we say fight, I don't mean to belittle it, but if there's a shoving match in 2026, that goes on the books as a fight. Almost every physical altercation, literally, from what I just described, gets counted as a fight. So we've always been very faithful in what we report. We're transparent about it, and those are some of our numbers. This chart shows you on the far right, for a handful of incidents that led to suspensions, the number of suspensions for the first half of this school year, and then the full year total number in those categories for the previous decade. And I think you'll see some trends look positive and encouraging. There are some ups and downs. But again, we present this twice a year and we're transparent about these incidents. Again, back to harassment, intimidation, and bullying. If you go back here, I had on the bottom there, one hit. Doesn't mean one hit, that means one of our suspensions was directly related to a hit. But for that first part of the school year, Mr. Wright oversaw 17 investigations, of which 6 were considered a hit. So approximately 1/3 were a hit, 2/3 were not. Oftentimes, misbehavior occurred, but it does not rise to the level of a hit. I was recently sharing with some of the board members, I went and looked at the other schools around the county, and on a given year, you'll see the range of official HIVs that they reported on a given year: 0, 1, 3, 8, 9, 15, 17. And I think that speaks to the fact that schools have a individualized approach to how they go about it. I don't think the disparity in human nature is that vast. So we do a lot of investigations. We're very thorough. If there's any possibility there is a hit, we take action to investigate it as that. All of our HIV resources are right on our website. Resources to report a hit, policies, contact information, etc. So that is it. Any questions on SSDS or state testing? Good. Okay, thanks, folks.
Thank you. That concludes our presentation. So I will move to other business, and New Jersey School Boards has been nice enough to provide us with a resolution template that we can read regarding the unsung heroes. So whereas the Sussex County School Boards Association, in collaboration with New Jersey School Boards Association, recognizes unsung heroes from each school district in Sussex County to celebrate those whose character and impact define the heart of our schools. And whereas the Unsung Hero Award honors students who make outstanding contributions to their schools and communities but are often overlooked by traditional recognition programs. Students who have modeled good citizenship, a spirit of quiet strength, and a commitment to elevating character, strength beyond the spotlight that inspires others. And whereas these unsung heroes may have organized community programs, selflessly supported their peers, or achieved significant academic success while overcoming difficult personal challenges, disabilities, or language barriers. And whereas Kennedy Shepherd has overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles to reach their full potential, serving both the school community and the community at large as a beacon of resilience and integrity. And whereas on Monday, March 23rd, 2026, Kennedy Shepherd was formally recognized by those achievements at the 2026 Sussex County Unsung Heroes Award ceremony held at Sparta High School. Now therefore be it resolved that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education officially recognizes Kennedy Shepherd as an unsung hero of Sussex County and the High Point Regional High School District. I don't believe we have to take a vote on this, but we can applaud it. So moving on to action items then. Curriculum, instruction, and technology is up first.
Sure, I think I have 8 items to move. Well, 8 items, most of them need to be moved. Faculty attendance rate for February is 94%. Student attendance was 91.5%. And the suspension report is attached. And of course that we approved the harassment, intimidation, and bullying reports. Item 5 is field trips that are listed, approving them. Number 6 is for professional development, as listed. And number 7 is our perennial revised calendar, which I guess this is the last time. And 8 is the school calendar for next year. That's all the items. I will move them. Looking for a second.
Second.
Does anybody have any comments or questions on those issues? All righty, roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Next, we have personnel. Mrs. Dorsey?
I'd like to move two items together. Number one is accepting retirement notification from Dorothy Martin. Number two is approving Barbara Holstein as a substitute teacher for next year. Making a motion, seeking a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Questions?
I'd like to congratulate Ms. Martin for a lovely, wonderfully impactful career, that she established relationships with kids over the time that she was here, such that she was a positive influence on our community and will be remembered fondly, particularly with her volunteer efforts as far as beautifying our campus and committing to improving not just the way it looked, but how it was received by visitors and staff and students alike. So congratulations on your career.
Flowers might not be the same.
Roll call?
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Next, we have extracurricular up. There are 6 items in the regular agenda, and there was an addendum, 5 items in the regular agenda. There's a 6th item as an addendum. So I will move all 6 items. One is a recommendation to accept the resignation notification for Marina Adamo Morris, head cheerleading coach, effective immediately. Item 2 is a recommendation to approve Joseph Kemmerlin as a volunteer chess club advisor for the 2025-2026 school year. Item 3 is a recommendation to approve the following individuals as volunteer coaches as listed for football and softball. Item 4 is a recommendation to accept the resignation notification from Kayla Velez as assistant cheer coach, effective immediately. Item 5 is a recommendation to approve the following extracurricular appointments for the 2026-2027 school year for fall cheerleading and winter cheerleading as listed. And item 6 is a recommendation to approve the following extracurricular appointments for the 2025-2026 school year as listed for assistant track coaches. So I will make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on any of those extracurricular appointments or motions? Seeing none?
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
And I was remiss for thanking our volunteer coaches. Usually do that.
Yes.
Without them, we often cannot hold some of the programs which we do. Policy.
Two items I'd like to move together. The first is a second reading of the new policies on sexual harassment in library materials. And the second item is on approving the revised regulations on resource materials. I'm making a motion, seeking a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion or comments, questions?
I'm concerned with the library material. I had sent over some information or a revised policy. It just gives me concern with minors being able to check out books without parental approval that could be considered, soft porn or just. I'm just concerned, and I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. I had sent over a policy. I don't know how it would be monitored, or to what degree what books are added into a category that would be considered risky. But I don't know how many people have dug into this. I'm not proposing books be removed, but as a proponent of parental rights, I think that some of the books, especially some of the newer books, parents should be able to say whether their kids can take out those books. Any other comments from board members on the library policy?
Mr. So this was sent over to the curriculum, well, no, it was sent to
Personnel.
personnel and policy.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone from the personnel and policy committee that can address that?
Well, we did discuss your
Yes.
recommendations. I believe you had suggested two recommendations, one being having the parental opt-out, and then a second, holding the librarian responsible. And I think the second piece is the easier piece. Holding the librarian responsible, I think we decided was probably, I'm not sure if it would be illegal, but it certainly would be a violation of union protection for librarians. Especially because in the policy, I believe it said that librarians cannot be held responsible.
As long as that is to where they are not, they can't be totally immune if they do go against the policy, which, you know, I think Dr. Ripley, he noted that he monitors that, but I just don't want a situation similar to what happened in Roxbury where you have a rogue librarian who's out and you know, if the policy says that certain kids, if a parent says my kid should not read this book, but then a librarian gives it to the kid anyway, there should be a consequence for that for the librarian. So as long as we're covered in that regard, to where we don't have somebody, you know, going against the will of a parent, that's where I'm coming from with that. Which I think Dr. Ripley confirmed that he has that under control.
Yeah, there's some things that I think that I could bring some light to this if possible. You know, the library materials, which is up here as a second reading, has now been differentiated from resource materials. And it's based upon the Freedom to Read Act, which was New Jersey law that took effect in December of 2024. As a result of the law, which is specific to libraries, resource materials and library materials are now each covered by separate policies. Library materials, as we're looking at here, Policy and Regulation 2535, as I said, inspired by the Freedom to Read Act, it prohibits censorship, but permits removal of material if it is found developmentally inappropriate for certain students. Age may be a consideration. It also distinguishes and the differences from library resources and other resources. What it does permit, an individual with a quote-unquote vested interest can challenge a library resource closely defined by, vested interest is someone who is a current High Point teacher, a parent of a current High Point student, or any current student. Those are the people who can challenge a library resource under the policy, under the code that I've just referenced, that was just put into effect in 2024. The complaint form must be online and at the principal's office, and the committee must be established when a complaint is lodged so as to address this. And I can go into it further, but I think that gives you an understanding that it is not a blanket authority to have books that one might believe is without some consideration. So there is the facility to be able to remove something that a parent, that a teacher or a student feels or believes might not be appropriate developmentally to be in the library. So there is a system in place according to the regulation that allows for the removal of a library material as appropriate based upon the regulation.
Can I ask, was the policy committee aware? I assume that was
Yes,
discussed.
it was
right?
discussed.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
Quite at length, yes. Certainly tried to look at the issue from all perspectives and obviously looking with the best interest of students at heart.
Mr. Anderson, are you?
Yep.
roll call?
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
no on 25-35 policy and no on 25-35 regulation. But yes on 2.
Very good. And Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
No negotiations or buildings and grounds items. We'll move on to finance. We'll move 1 through 5 together first. 1 is a recommendation to accept the report of the Board Secretary Business Administrator for February 2026. 2 is a recommendation to accept the report of the Treasurer for the same month. Item 3 is a recommendation to approve the report of transfers and minimum expense transfer report for the same month. Item 4 is a recommendation to approve for payment the attached schedule of audited bills dated March 24th, 2026. And item 5 is a recommendation to accept the adult education agency account, athletic account, cafeteria account, construction account, principals, petty cash account, scholarship account, school store, and student activities reconciliations for the month of February 2026. I'll make that motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions on those? Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, item 6 is our important one for the evening. It spans about 3 pages. I'm not going to read everything in detail. However, let me provide some highlights. Be it resolved that the board approves the adoption of the tentative school budget for the 2026-2027 school year as follows. First section is related to travel and related expense reimbursement, basically saying something along the lines of an annual school threshold of $1,500 per staff member, where prior board approval shall not be required unless the annual threshold for a staff member is exceeded in a given year. The total maximum expenditure for travel and related expenses of $75,000 for all staff and board members. The second portion of that resolution, adoption of the tentative budget. Be it resolved that the tentative budget be approved for the 2026-2027 school year using the 2026-2027 state aid figures, and the secretary to the High Point Regional High School Board of Education be authorized to submit the following budget to the Executive County Superintendent of Schools. And I'll highlight what's in that table. Total expenditures, I'll just give you the totals in the far right column. $25,710,339, less anticipated revenues of $6,563,787. Results in the, if you go to the next page, the taxes to be raised, $19,146,552, with a double asterisk underneath that table. This includes a 2% increase, and the number listed there that is associated with that, and a health care adjustment, and the number associated with that. Be it resolved that the High Point Regional High School Board of Education approves the levy of general fund taxes for the tentative 2026-2027 school budget to be $19,146,552. This budget addresses health and safety issues related to facility, capital spending, student-centered items, and program integrity. Be it further resolved that included in the general fund appropriations is $31,098 for deposit into the Board of Education's approved capital reserve account for future funding of capital projects, and represents expenditures for construction elements or projects that are in addition to the facility's efficiency standards necessary to achieve the New Jersey student learning standards, and to advertise said budget in the New Jersey Herald in accordance with the form suggested by the State Department of Education and according to law, and post tentative budget on our website. I will make that motion. May I please have a second?
Second.
Any discussion or comments on tentative budget motion?
I would just like to say that there are 2 numbers that are a compelling factor, obviously the tax levy, but also the general fund, which also gets forgotten in the tax levy. And I would like to present to the board that the proposed tentative budget is a reduction in overall spending for the general fund by 0.8%, while 0.8% does not sound like a lot, given the rise in healthcare costs and fixed costs being that which they are, to reduce our overall operating budget, or otherwise known as the general fund, to reduce that by 0.8% is something about which I'm proud, and the business office worked very hard to be able to present this to the board and to the community to demonstrate fiscal responsibility in reducing the overall operating budget.
And at the risk of repeating what I say every time a budget comes across the board's table, I consider voting on the budget one of the most important jobs that we do as board members. I know as a member of the Finance Committee, having been involved with the budget from that perspective, and as the president of the board, it is a lot of hard work by Dr. Ripley and Mrs. Kolbush to prepare and everybody else that submits their information to them to prepare this. And we believe that we're not asking for anything that we don't absolutely need. We're not asking for more than that either. That we've taken efforts not to use everything that we are allowed to pass on. So we're hopeful that that is recognized by the community towards our fiscal responsibility as board members. So, get off my soapbox. If no other comments, we'll take a vote on the...
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
I will move 7 through 14 together. 7 is a recommendation to rescind approval of the vendor payment for the spring musical. We could not fulfill the commitment. And item 8 is a recommendation to approve vendor payment for the spring musical, I believe for the replacement cellist that came in. Item 9 is a recommendation to approve and authorize the execution of an agreement between NJIT and High Point Regional High School to offer concurrent enrollment courses for the 2026-27 through 2028-29. Wow, that's a long way in advance. School years. Item 10 is a recommendation to approve and authorize an agreement between Sussex County Ed Services Commission and High Point District Board of Education for ancillary educational services for the 2026-2027 school year. Item 11 is a recommendation to grant permission to the High Point Football Camp to host a non-affiliated co-ed camp grades 2 through 8, which will run as posted. Camp will be self-supporting and will charge $125 per participant. Item 12 is a recommendation to grant permission to the Speed and Strength Camp to host the non-affiliated co-ed camp ages 12 through 15, which will run as listed. The camp will be self-supporting and will charge $125 per participant. Item 11 is a recommendation to approve and authorize the following tuition contracts between High Point as a receiving district and the following districts. Related information for sending districts. And item 14 is a recommendation to approve and authorize the following tuition contracts between High Point Regional as the sending district and the following districts and related information as receivers. So I'll make that motion on 7, I think it was 7 through 14. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments there? Seeing none?
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Longberg?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, item 15, I think is our last item on, oh no, it's not. I'm going to move 15 and 16 together. 15, extremely lengthy resolution that spans about 4 pages. So let's see if we can condense this a little bit. It is recommended the Board of Education approves and authorizes this agreement made the 24th day of March 2026 in the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, by and between the School Health Insurance Fund, referred to as SHIF, and the governing body of High Point Regional High School, a duly constituted Board of Education, herein referred to as school boards. And I believe this approves our membership, and for a period of 3 years, from July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2027. School may withdraw at any time with 90 days written notice. And any other key points I might miss here related to our school health insurance fund?
Our participation in this health insurance fund has been very helpful to us maintaining controls over health costs in our budget. It has muted the vast swings of increases over the last several years, and to have been selected for and been a member of this health insurance fund is very beneficial to our district and our taxpayers.
So that entire resolution is related to our health insurance fund. And item 16 is a related resolution that notes Kathy Koblish is hereby appointed as fund commissioner to the School Health Insurance Fund effective March 1st, 2026 to represent High Point Regional High School Board of Education. And be it further resolved that Dr. Scott Ripley be appointed as alternate fund commissioner to the School Health Insurance Fund effective March 1st, 2026. So I make that a motion on items 15 and 16. Second.
Second.
Any other comments related to that? Guess we have none.
Okay. Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Longworth?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Van Stone?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Duff?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, transportation. What? We got 1 through 8.
Okay, I'll put them all together. It is recommended by the board approves execution of the following contracts for the mileage remainder of the 25-26 school year. Number one is a contract with Lakeland Andover School. Number two is a contract with the Windsor School. Number three is a contract with Northern Hills Academy. Number four is a contract with Lakeland Andover School. Number five is a contract with High Point High School. Oh, I'm sorry, where is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Joining with Wayne Township Public Schools. And then number six is with Kittatinny Regional High School, joining with High Point. Number seven is a bunch here, but bar and bus. Do I have to read each school? No? Okay. And then number 8 is recommended superintendent board approves jointure agreement between South Bergen Jointure Commission and High Point Regional High School for anticipated coordinated pupil transportation services for non-public and out-of-district special education, vocational, includes Bergen Tech, regular field trip athletics, and summer programs for the 26-27 school year with 3% administrative fee. Making a motion, and I'm looking for a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Any comments?
Oh, any comments or discussion?
Usually there's
No
comments.
transportation.
Just gotta ask.
Just wait till they have like 25.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Ms. Orsi?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Vanstone?
Yes.
Ms. Gall?
Yes.
Ms. Longbird?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Passes.
We have no correspondence, miscellaneous item, the standing notice about school board mandated training. So that brings us to our second public comment section of the evening. Same rules apply as the first, although it's not limited to agenda items. We haven't had any public comment. Please welcome to
Hi, good evening.
the meeting.
My name is Lisa Carlson. I'm the Deputy Mayor for Lafayette Township. So I have a question as to how many students are total enrolled here at High Point at this time?
I think it's about 815, give or take.
Okay. We sent a request yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, yes, to Ms. Kolbush. Did you receive that from the clerk?
Yes, I responded to Annex.
Okay, so we are requesting the sending district census, broken down by how many students are from each sending district, along with the property tax formulas to see the breakdown in terms of monies. We understand Montague is a send and receive, so we're also looking for cost per pupil that comes into High Point per Montague student and how many there are. That should be included in the census as well.
That was not listed in the request. Certainly, I'm not denying it, but if you could, to have.
We'll resend the request.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And also wondering if you will be coming to any Lafayette Township meeting to do the budget? We haven't seen you guys since pre-COVID, so.
Our presentation of the board for our budget will be here in April 28th, and that will be our presentation of the budget.
Okay, all right, I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like to thank you. Are you like a liaison from Lafayette?
I'm the deputy mayor this year, and.
But I mean, from the town council, do you?
Yes, I'm on, yes.
Excellent. We, this is for the general public. I believe you're the first, aside from some representatives from Frankfurt, that have come to a board meeting in my recent memory, and that goes back at least, well, more than a few years. So thank you for coming and making public comments. I will say previously, the board, and Dr. Ripley did go to present at the individual municipalities. We are videotaped. We get to meet. Board members are unpaid for this if we attend. We feel when we present a budget, we're doing it in the forum here as we're required. So just to insulate Dr. Ripley, it wasn't the sole decision of Dr. Ripley's not to continue going out to the individual townships. It was the recognition that maybe that was a little bit too much to ask when we were doing it already. So, yep. Any comments virtual? No. Okay. Can I have a motion to close public comments?
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we don't have it listed on our agenda, but I'm going to make a motion to enter a second executive session to discuss matters related to Dr. Ripley's contract renewal. It is not expected that any action will be taken. So I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will return to, just as for the public's notice, we will return to public session and then immediately adjourn, so there's no need for anybody to stick around. We don't intend to videotape that. And we have no idea what time that would be at this point.